Hello everyone, welcome to another contrast paint video being done on a very dank and dreary day, so apologies for the slightly poorer lighting than usual. Nothing I can do about it. Mr. Sun does not want to come out. He doesn't visit Scotland often. We're basically hobbits living in caves. Anyway, today we are handling a new Batman miniature model. Well, relatively new. It came out a couple of months ago. This is Bronze Tiger, a martial arts expert to rival or surpass Batman himself, although he is in a very goofy comic costume, essentially. So he is dressed like a tiger. He comes with a tiger head variant, which of course I use, because who wouldn't if you had the option between a tiger mask or just like some dude. So we're doing that, and this is going to be another opportunity for us to see some more work from Contrast Gryph-hound Orange, because a vast majority of his gi, I guess, is orange, but with kind of like a lightish red trim, black belt obviously, and his gloves and boots are a very strange tone of yellow in the official art for it. I think I'm going to try Skeletal Horde, to try, and maybe with sepia put on top afterwards to kind of get the same colour. We will also have to use some normal paints as well, but we'll use some Black Templar on the black belt. The shade of red I want for the trim down the middle, for the trims on the edges, and then there's also trims at his boots and his wrists. I only have two red contrast paints, and I don't think either of them are going to be quite the shade I want, so we're probably going to use not Red. Wild Rider Red, is that what it's called? Yes, Wild Rider Red I think is the shade I'm after. We'll see though, and then there's going to be some fine work with just normal black paint trying to do tiger stripes. His head is going to be a different shade of orange. This is too dark on orange, this contrast paint, so we'll probably just use, what's it called? Juquero Orange. That's probably the shade I'm wanting, plus a little bit of white contrast mixed in while it's wet to do the white hair on like the sides of the cheeks of the tiger, and then his chin as well. There's going to be a lot of fine work involved in this that I don't think I'm going to do very well, but we can but try on this horrible stormy day. But for the first time lapse, we're just going to be applying the contrast orange, ignoring his head, ignoring his wrists and boots, basically doing the entirety of his gi, and we'll go from there. So there's still some drying to do obviously, but here's what we have so far, again in appalling lighting today. But the Gryph-hound Orange contrast applies well in my opinion, and I think it's a nice deep shade of orange. It's not going to be ideal again for the helmet, because for whatever reason the helmet is a much lighter shade of, or mask I guess, is a much lighter shade of orange that I feel like the normal orange will do. So it's obviously still going to dry, as I think I just said, but in the next time lapse we're going to be trying Skeletal Horde on the hands and feet, and probably between takes also I'll just tidy up the black belt so that we can apply the black contrast at the same time. So we have to make sure the orange is absolutely dry before doing that, because the black bleeding into the orange and not being able to clean it up because it's still wet would be very bad. So this is probably going to have to sit for at least half an hour before we do the next section. We'll worry about tidying up the trims on the clothing and whatnot that will be coloured red once all the contrast is done. We can start worrying about that, I think. So that's where we're going to leave off for now, and in the next time lapse, as I say, hands and feet plus the black belt. Let's see how that goes after copious drying time. So we're just checking in again with most of the contrast work done, except one little addition that we talked about earlier, but the model is obviously not done yet, so this is just a recap of the contrast done on it so far with the Skeletal Horde. Diction is important. The Skeletal Horde came out pretty much with the colour I was wanting, just as is, so I don't think we're going to bother putting a wash over that. But He's got a bunch of trim that needs to be done. It's kind of like, it looks red in the official art, but I'm going to use Wild Rider red because that is a red by Citadel that has a slight orange tint to it, so I feel like it kind of complements the other colours used. So that's going to be used for that. And then we also are going to use Jokero orange, and that is going to be used for his head. And then while it's wet, the not super fantastic, but I'm going to try it anyway, contrast apothecary white is going to be mixed onto like the bushy parts on the sides of his face and then the chin and there, to try and do the tiger coloured look. Whether it will work or not, who knows. Then everything is going to have to dry again, and then just using a fine detail brush, I'm going to do some black like tiger stripes on his head. He's the reddish bits on his gi all have kind of like the black tiger stripes as well. So that's just going to be done with a fine detail brush and a bad and black as best I'm able. And then it will just be Storm Vermin fur plus Agrax on the base as per normal for the Batman miniatures. That's just the way I do them. So we'll do a gap here and then come back and do a check-in, maybe with the finished model, maybe just with the apothecary part done just to see how that looks. We'll see. And so sometime later, here we have the finished bronze tiger. Put a little bit of blood on his fist and then dripped it down onto the base to make it look like he's just busted somebody's nose open. Not the best at freehanding because I don't have a steady hand, which is why I rely on contrast and dry brushing for the most part, but the stripes on the mask I think turned out good. The stripes on the clothing, not so much, but still kind of looks okay. And actually the colours I went with came pretty close to what I was aiming for, which if we zoom out a little bit was that. So came kind of close to what I was looking for the miniature. If we can get back into focus, I shouldn't have done that. Please find the miniature. There you go, you found the miniature. Just do a quick pan shot, ghetto pan shot using my fingers, obviously. So that is how Mr. Bronze Tiger turned out. For the white on his mask, tried to use the apothecary white, it was just too watery, didn't have enough pigment, just it wasn't making any kind of indentation at all, so I just, while it was still wet, after applying the orange ceramic white, just mix some of that into the face and the side bits. And then once it was all dried, put some Agrax or shade over it all just to make it look a little bit more grimy and deeper coloured. Not sure if it made it better or worse, but that's what I did. Also added a little bit of that to the red trims just to dim the reddish orange or the orangish red a little bit. So yeah, that turned out okay. This is a free agent for any evil crew in the Batman miniature game. Looking forward to seeing him work because, as I say, he's a close combat expert, probably on the table at least better than Batman. Most Batman, anyway. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm not sure what the next contrast video is going to be, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to do a little preview in the comments below or not. But go check out the other ones if you want to see some other miniatures from 40k or Batman being painted. And go check out the battle reports if you'd like. There will be more of all of those things to come in the future. Thank you for watching. Ta-ta for now.